This is the coolest show brought to you by Hip Hop Caucuses. Think 100%.
It's the coolest show you know, keep the culture connected. It's the coolest show you know, in your ear, yeah, respected. Expert level information, entertainment, education. Rev Yearwood got you covered as you hit your destination. Climate rules everything around me. Cream. For those who lost focus, close your eyes and just dream. Open your third eye, now the world is your off. Coolest show you know, it's the Hip Hop Caucus.
Reverend Lennox Yearwood Jr. He is the president and CEO of the Hip Hop Caucus, a minister, a community activist, a U.S. Air Force veteran, and one of the most influential people in hip-hop political life. The Hip Hop Caucus is a national nonprofit and has been building support for the climate movement among cultural influencers and celebrities. So it is my pleasure to introduce Reverend Yearwood to give our commencement address.
Good morning, everyone, and congratulations to Paul Smith's class of 2024. I want to thank the president, thank you, and the board of trustees for having me here at Paul Smith's College. Today is by far one of the best days of my life. You have no idea how much of a blessing it is to give the commencement speech at Paul Smith's College. Part of that is not that this is my first or my last commencement speech. As a matter of fact, I will give another commencement speech in 2 weeks. I've given ones before this. But this is by far the best and will forever be the best commencement speech that I give. And that's because my son River is in the graduating class of 2024. You probably have noticed my hat. It says Hockey Dad. Shout out to the Bobcats, to the ice hockey team here, Coach Casey. Y'all can do better than that, actually. Y'all can, and all the graduating athletes, give it up for them. Just wanted to say, the stars had to align for me as a parent to be given the commencement speech for my son. Part of it had to be that I had to have a good platform. Part of my passion that I share with you today, class, that every day that I wake up, my goal is to ensure that we have clean air and clean water all over this amazing country that we have here in America. My goal is simply that we can move past pollution and ensure that communities don't have asthma and emphysema and cancer. That's my goal, and because of that, I've been honored with many things and given a platform. But on top of that, one of the things here is that my son had to be also doing his thing and living his life. And so I kind of wanted to step into a role for all the parents. So if you're a parent of a graduate today, can you just lift your hand up in the sky? All right. So today I'm going to kind of vicariously somehow move that energy as a parent to the front of this stage. So if I say nothing else in this speech, we are so happy you are graduating, and we definitely look forward to you getting a job. Just wanted to say that for the parents, and if I don't say anything else today, let me say that for my fellow parents who I know. They say, Rev, if you say anything today, Rev, you just need to say that, and your speech will be a success. So one of the things in this process has been my work in regards to environmental justice. And one of the things here on this campus is in regards to what this school has been doing for helping us to transition from fossil fuels to clean energy. I commend the the teachers and the scholars and the professors and all those and the deans who have been doing this an amazing job through all curriculums to ensure you are prepared for this moment. Environmental justice embraces the principles that all communities are entitled to equal protection and equal enforcement, along with access to housing, transportation, food security, water, health, and clean energy. And with that, yes, and with that, I wanted to share a story that I think is important for you graduates in speaking to you. Many years ago, in North Carolina, there's a school called North Carolina A&T. And at that time, our country wasn't as unified as it is now. And unfortunately, there were places where particularly people of color could not sit at the lunch counter. And in that aspect, people came together, working together from all backgrounds, black, white, brown, red, male, female. Everyone came together to fix that. I'm so happy even here to know that yesterday that the renaming of the cafeteria was in regards to one of those amazing soldiers who was, if you ever see the movie Glory, was then renamed, who worked here, went down and fought in Civil War and then came back here. And I believe the renaming is now the Warren Morehouse Cafeteria. So I'm so glad that you are understanding what it means to represent and make sure bring those stories back to life. Well, in the situation at the lunch counter, these four students, it was four students just like you, who had North Carolina A&T, they went down to the local lunch counter, which was at the Woolworth. Woolworth doesn't exist anymore. You probably say, what's the Woolworth? But there was a store called Woolworth. I think now they actually became Foot Locker, which is kind of crazy in itself. But the Woolworth store was there, and in that moment, these four students went down to the Woolworth counter and sat down at that lunch counter. And then when they did that, many people joined those students in this regard. And they joined those students understanding that we need to desegregate the lunch counters. And that worked. But right now, where we are at this moment, you are now embracing a world in which you, class of 2024, you are facing your lunch counter moment for the 21st century. Because the reality is this, is that we are no longer really fighting for equality the same way. We can all come together. While we have some things to iron out, we can still come together as an amazing human race, black, white, brown, male, female. We can come together. But right now, we're not literally fighting for equality. We're fighting for existence. That's the world you're going into. You're going into a world where you have to fight for a better world for future generations. And you were also at a moment here where you were also fighting for your lunch counter moment, where when you leave here, when you leave these hallowed grounds, you are in a place where your lunch counter moment is regarding you. And what I mean by that, not a physical lunch counter, but a lunch counter in which you are dealing with your passions. You are dealing with what you need to make this world a better place. That's where you are. And I know this moment, this day, this May 11th, 2024, will be a day where whenever you feel you are struggling, whenever you feel like you can't overcome, this is the day you should look back upon and say, I made it. And if I can make it through that, I can make it through anything. And let me tell all of you who are gathered here and those who are watching this right now, I believe that there are better days ahead of us, that as a country and a world, that we are going to transition from fossil fuels to clean energy. We are going to move from a place of wars. We are going to be a place when we can love one another. I believe that with everything in my fiber. It's because of this new generation of young people who is sitting before me right now. And I believe that we can come together and we can create a world that our lunch counter moment creates a place that is better than the past generations. So class of 24, no, you were born for this moment. I literally know that because I got one of you that I birthed in this moment. You were born for this moment. You were created for this time. The world is waiting for your genius, your excellence, for you to rise above to make this world a better place. In Paul Smith's class of 2024, I know you are more than ready to make this world a better place. With that, congratulations. Speed on and all power to you as you move forward. Congratulations, class 24, and go Bobcats.